So that was the president in the Oval Office earlier suggesting the White House might withhold back pay from some workers furloughed during the government shutdown. Congress passed a law in 2019 guaranteeing back pay when federal funding lapses. New White House memo, though, says that pay first has to be approved by Congress through appropriations. That memo, see the Hill article there, first reported by Axios today. We've confirmed it. Now, the president also did tell Kelly Meyer later in that Oval Office appearance that he would follow the law. So, let's bring in Republican Congressman Nathaniel Moran on this out of Texas. What's your position before we talk about anything else on this back pay issue? In other words, no matter what the deal is, if the government reopens, the people that are not getting paid now, should they get paid then?
Well, let's first start with who's at fault here, and that's Schumer and the Democrats in the Senate for not passing the clean CR that we sent to them weeks ago. This whole thing could have been avoided if they had done just that. I certainly understand the frustration when we're in a shutdown where furloughed employees are not working, but at the end of the day, whether or not you take the broader interpretation of GEFTA from 2019 or the more specific one, I feel certain that at the end of the day, Congress is going to make appropriations to do back pay for those that were furloughed.
So you think it'll happen? I mean, I'm kind of getting the runaround on this when I ask the question. Like it seems to me it's like a straight question on this part. I understand the other stuff about who's to blame and that you think that the Democrats should pass the CR. But the back pay, you figure that they should get it, right? No matter what you guys do.
Yeah, at the end of the day, we're the ones that are to blame for it. Let's just admit that. Both we're the ones elected to pass appropriations bills, and we have other folks that are stuck in the middle as a result of us not doing our job, frankly.
Right, not their fault. Yeah, you guys got to figure it out, and now you think the Democrats should be the ones to open it. One issue that's come up, let me play a clip from a fellow Republican who was on the show yesterday from California, Kevin Kiley, is health care. So I'm curious about how you see this on timing. Most Republicans have been saying, you got to open the government first, and then maybe we could talk about subsidies for Obamacare and other things. Kiley seemed to hint that maybe it could be reversed. Unclear, but here's part of what he said to me.
This ACA subsidy issue, I am very concerned as well about the reality that many people will experience an increase in premiums. There are many in our conference, in addition to the Democrat conference, that are concerned about that. So a deal is going to need to be reached on the ACA subsidies. So if we could negotiate that issue in a way that helps us to reopen the government as well as quickly as possible, I don't know why we shouldn't at least explore that possibility.
Would you explore that? Marjorie Taylor Greene and others have said something similar, like, all right, let's get a deal on that allows the government to reopen as opposed to reopen first and then talk about it?
No, we need to reopen first, and trying to tack on everything in the kitchen sink onto a 7-week CR is simply inappropriate and unreasonable for the Democrats to do that. I know that they want to talk about it, but remember, these are COVID-era enhanced subsidies, not the original ACA subsidies. They were set by the Democrats in 2020 for the pandemic to end. The Democrats said to end in 2025. Now we're to this point. You know the old adage, there's nothing more permanent than a temporary government program.
Absolutely.
And that's where we're at. I do not support continuing these enhanced subsidies. They're the reason why premiums are going up. And
I get it. I mean, you're right about that. That's the way it works in Washington. You put something in and say, oh, now it's temporary. We got to get rid of it. Sometimes it works in reverse, like on tax cuts for Republicans, right? You get a tax cut with a sunset, and then the Republicans say, we got to extend this, or we're going to have a tax hike. So how do you feel about the merits of this issue, which are real for the people? They don't care what you guys agreed to. They just know they're going to be paying more for health care. How do you feel about the issue on the merits?
Oh, certainly on the merits. I do not agree with extending the enhanced COVID-era subsidies for Obamacare. It's just driven up the premiums. It's only enhanced the profitability of the health insurance companies. It has not really done what it was supposed to do, and frankly, it was supposed to be just for the pandemic. We're seeing people making $500,000 or $600,000 a year receiving some of these subsidies for their health insurance programs. 40% of people that are fully subsidized didn't even go see their health care provider one time last year. That's government waste. We need to do better. We need to let the private market operate.
Is there something else that can be done to keep the premiums from going up as much as they're projected to?
Yeah, I think there's other avenues to look at, and I hope that's part of the more full discussion that we need to have. But we can't keep the American people hostage and government shut down as a result of that, or looking at those other options in this moment. We need to reopen government. We need to get on down the road, and then let's talk about how to make premiums better for the American people.
All right, Congressman Moran, thank you, sir, for coming on. We'll continue to follow it. Day 7.